Has it ever been shown that emissions of carbon dioxide, which of course is the source of all plant life, you call it the gas of life, has it ever been shown that carbon dioxide drives global warming or climate change?
No, it's never been shown, and I've asked that question for more than 20 years. And if you could show it, then you would have to answer the next question, and that is, well, if human emissions drive global warming, why don't the natural emissions, which are 97% of the total, why don't they drive global warming also?
Just stop there. Stop. Ian Plimer, stop. I want you to say that again. I read that in the book, and I think it's a really significant point that you make. Start it again. If the 3%, away you go.
If the 3% of human emissions drive global warming, you must show that the 97% of natural emissions don't.
Game, set and match.
Carbon dioxide doesn't care whether it's come from humans or whether it's been degassed from the oceans. It is carbon dioxide, molecular weight 44.
But see, Ian Plimer, everything is on that side, the renewable side, is subsidies. Now they want to subsidise hydrogen. They want to subsidise electric vehicles, subsidise batteries. I mean, haven't we just seen the failure of these policies in Europe?
They've absolutely totally failed. And to paraphrase Margaret Thatcher, we're ultimately going to run out of someone else's money. At present, we are a very wealthy country in Australia. We haven't had a recession for a long time. Most people under 50 have never had high interest rates. I can remember when they were 17.9 and we were trying to buy a place in Newcastle. It was difficult with a wife and 3 children. It wasn't easy. Most people haven't had that experience. Most people haven't lived in hyperinflation. Most people haven't experienced a recession. The world just goes on. We've just got so much money and we can take money from here and there for whatever cause you want.
But we've got thousands of years of raw materials under our feet. Why are we heading for this self-sabotage of the national economy?
We are too wealthy. We are too ill-educated. We have politicians who really don't rise to the top of the pile. You see, with a flock of sheep, the smartest one leads the flock. In this country, the dumbest politician leads the flock.
Excellent.
We need more engineers, practical people, scientists in politics, not people who want to tie knots in the law and fleece everyone alive.
But Ian,
we are heading down the Venezuela path.
Yeah, quite. Ian, what is to happen, what's happening now, when banks go woke, our business is woke, but banks won't lend to a business that might want to build a high-efficiency, low-emission, coal-fired power station? What happens?
Ultimately, I think we have to suffer a recession or extreme financial hardship before the electorate will say, well, wait a minute, we've gone down the wrong path here.
Yes.
Let us go back and think about how we got here and what we've done, and that will force the banks. The banks have shareholders. The banks are now run by people who have been educated in our dumbed-down system, and these people seem to think that they can change the world. Well, banks have shareholders, and the shareholders ultimately will say, no, that's not the way to go. But it will take a lot of pain before we get there.
Just one final point. We always run out of time, but we've got to talk to you more often. If you make this point in the book, if Albanese and Bowen, say, were concerned about their fellow human beings, wouldn't they support cheap, reliable, 24/7 fossil fuel and nuclear-generated electricity?
Alan, you're showing what a dinosaur you are. That was the Labor Party of past years. The Labor Party in past times were concerned about the welfare of people. I'm in a town that's been a union town for 100 years. Town was concerned about people. The modern Labor Party is concerned about power, being part of the elite, strutting around the world in jets that we pay for, and showing how they are just that 0.1% of society who we fund from our taxes.